Nope, that's okay. I need you to remind me of that. I appreciate it. I forget every single, it's without fail. I will forget about that. So thank you.
No worries.
And thank you. I'll reiterate what Catherine said. Thank you to Kara and everyone else who volunteered and helped out with our book fair. I can't tell you, speaking for Mrs. Potter, what a relief it was for her to be able to come in and continue to do her job and get into classrooms and teach some lessons and everything else without having that hang over her head and be kind of a worry for her. So hopefully it wasn't too much trouble for you, Kara, and hopefully we were able to get a little bit of money in our bank from it. So I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Can Jen hear now? She had just.
I just admitted her right now.
All right. Can you hear us okay now, Jen? Well, I've just texted while we're waiting on Jen. Let's see if I got an answer here. The play is April 8th and 9th. Does that sound right?
I was completely off. That sounds right. I will take your word for it. Okay.
All right. I have one that's helping out on the Footloose over at the high school. So I had the dates kind of bouncing through my head there. So
yeah.
We had a couple of parents, I think, that wanted to have the floor tonight, and I see Melinda Baker's name up there. I think that was one person. So I'm not sure what the topic was, Melinda. Apologies.
So I think, and I'll speak, Megan's not in the room right now, but welcome, Melinda. But I believe the Bakers run a catering service, catering business, and we're looking to potentially utilize them for our end of year picnic.
Excellent. I have that down on the agenda, and I just had Megan's friend. So welcome, Megan.
Am I right on that? Am I right on that, Melinda? Am I off target there?
Yes, you're correct. My husband Mark is here with me too.
Hey,
all right. Hi, Mark.
Hi. How are you doing?
Well, great, because that's one of our topics here was to get planning for the end of the year picnic for the teachers, and Megan had recommended that you might be able to do the catering for that. So I'll just pass it over to you guys then.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We were blessed to be able to cater for French Creek for all our years there, and fun fair, and the teachers end of year luncheon, and it's kind of sad you moved to middle school. We're not as involved as we were in elementary school. So I'm happy Megan drug us into the fold here. So we appreciate that.
So our end of year, we started this last year, Mr. and Mrs. Baker. We've always done something at the end of the year. Last year being the year that it was, where everyone was kind of cooped up and operating, we were all working alone together last year in our silos and in our rooms, staring at computers and or the students who were in front of us at any given time. So we made the decision last year on the last day of school, when students were dismissed, and that's supposed to be PD time for us, and we used that time to go to Warwick Park last year and just kind of enjoy each other's company and have some laughs. And PTA was nice enough to put together some baskets for us, so we were able to raffle off to some teachers, which is always fun. And last year we used Chartwells, which is our food service provider for the school district. So they're Chartwells is the group that does all of our lunches and breakfast, Wildcat Award breakfast, everything like that.
Okay.
Runs through Chartwells. I can't recall off the top of my head, and Kim, maybe you'll know more than me, what the charge was from Chartwells, but we didn't do a whole lot of shopping around last year. We kind of asked them up front for something they could do, and they said they could do it, but it was outside. They did, and we don't have to stick with this, but they did, I think, just burgers and dogs, Kim, right? They had the grills out. They brought the griddles or grills out there and from the school, which can, kind of industrial size things. And did burgers and dogs for us, and then, you know, had some salads, chips and things like that that were on the side as well. So that's kind of what we look for. Our total population for our middle school, and this is everything from teachers to paraprofessionals to secretaries to maintenance staff, everything else, I would guess is somewhere in the 130 range, somewhere in 130 individuals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And definitely something, you know, we'd be able to handle. So, you know, we're basically, our restaurant's called Pudge's, and we're located in Bluebell, but, you know, we have 2 kids in the school district, and, you know, we travel, we bring it. So,
Okay.
we more or less, you know, for examples for what we did for the teachers in French Creek, we have what's called a Philly package, which is really cool. It's soft pretzels, tomato pie, you get cheesesteak tray, you get a hoagie tray, and, you know, chocolate chip cookies or tasty cakes and things like that. So it's kind of a, you know, checks all the boxes type of package. And,
Right.
and, you know, we can do catering salads also and things like that. And, you know, it's been a challenge because we've been adapting to COVID, and, you know, we've made individual sandwiches where we allowed the teachers to order what they want off our menu, and we would make it a la carte. Or we've done in the past where we would bring a cheesesteak tray, and it's a self-serve style. We bring the rolls, and it's fun. The teachers like to come up and they build their own cheesesteaks, and we give you all the toppings and the fixings, and, you know, and you go to town.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's different options, you know, we can do for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not last year, even when we were, you know, much deeper into COVID than we are right now, we still had this kind of a conga line right then. They had servers, so we weren't allowed to serve ourselves last year. They had servers that, you know, had gloves on and everything else, and people weren't reaching in. They kind of just went through and said what they wanted. But I'm certainly not, with where we are right now, I'm not opposed to any kind of like a buffet style thing where teachers can go through, or I keep saying teachers, but staff can go through and help themselves to whatever they like. So.
No, absolutely. And we can do the same, you know, as long as it's a day that, you know, I get my wife up here and I'll put my boys to work, and, you know, we'll serve for you guys too, if that's something that's easier for you, you know. Yeah, we're very flexible. So whatever works for you guys is, you know, we
Okay.
you know, be happy to accommodate.
Yeah, I think we rented 2 pavilions last year at Warwick Park, and the setting worked nicely for us. I mean, it's, you know, 5 minutes from campus, and at the time of day that we were there was not really a crowd or anything else. So we had plenty of grass to set up cornhole boards and long games and everything else. And it was nice. It was a lot of fun and well received. So I guess, you know, are you able to send like a pricing list or anything like that to either the PTA or to me that I could share with the PTA or anything like that?
Absolutely. And we always take care of you guys. We used to ask for what the budget was, and we would meet it, you know, because we're part of the school district, and you guys do a ton for our kids, and we're happy to do it.
We certainly appreciate that.
Of course.
Our PTA, I know in a few minutes here, is going to hit me up about a school dance, but they haven't had any school dances in a while. And that's typically for the middle school. That's our main source of funding for the PTA, or income for the PTA, is our school dances. And it's been 2 years since we've had one. It makes me really sad because I really love the school dances. These ladies all know how much I miss my school dances. Picking up my sarcasm, I'm sure, but it certainly, as far as the PTA is concerned, they are very beneficial, and so it's
absolutely. And like we said, you know, we accommodate, and, you know, French Creek would always just give me a budget per head, and then I would meet it. You know, we always had servers, and the janitors would be very happy because they come by and they make hoagies, and, you know, there's always extra. I always anticipate. Never want to run out of food. So
no, we obviously want to respect the time that you're giving and the effort you're putting in, and make it worth your while as well. So I'm sure we can work something out that's mutually beneficial. So
absolutely, yeah. Now that I have a ballpark range of total people involved, I can put some numbers together, and, you know, I could reach out to Megan, or we could put something together. You know, if that kind of package works for you guys, that Philly pack that we offer.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. I
We've
don't want
done-
to speak for everyone else, but
No, we've also done where we just do cheesesteak trays and hoagie trays, and then we do salads. You know,
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
you didn't do the pretzels and it's up to you.
Do you
okay.
have any vegetarian
Yeah,
staff members, Corbin, that you know we need to accommodate?
I know we have at least one, maybe a couple gluten-free
Gluten-free?
staff members for and I'm sure we have some vegetarians as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
no,
don't associate with those people, Catherine, so I'm not sure.
I mean, we can certainly accommodate. You know, I generally mix and match the hoagie trays, so I'll have, you know, tuna hoagies for some, you know, some people that don't eat the meat, and I'll have veggie hoagies, and we have mixed
Yeah.
cheese hoagie, and I'll mix and match. You know, a bulk of it's going to be, you know, your old fashioned Italian hoagies, and, you know, turkey and ham and roast beef, and it's good stuff. It's all we slice it in house, and, you know, it's sliced every single day, so it's good fresh stuff. So.
Sounds awesome.
Sounds good. Awesome.
But I mean,
So
if you guys wanted to do a little research on us, you can certainly look us up. Pudgesbluebell.com is our website, and we have a Facebook page and all that stuff. But if you talk to Dr. McKillop, I think she's a fan. So
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
come highly recommended, so that's
I think when I worked at Merck, I might have gone in there. That sounds
Yeah.
awfully familiar. Are they near that Merck campus there off Sumney Town?
I work at West Point, so yeah. It's about
Okay.
15 minutes. It's not far.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a long time ago, but it does sound familiar.
we bring chafing dishes with the thermos to keep everything to temperature and hot, you know, and everything's transported in bags, so it's never an issue. We're only 45 minutes away, so I get it there. I take the lids off, and the steam pours off the cheesesteak. It is very, very hot.
awesome.
Very good.
Well, unless anyone else has questions, I don't want to suck up any more of your time. And I would say that if you wanted to, just put together some pricing. Send it if you want to send it to Megan and maybe copy me on it. That'll get the ball rolling for us.
Do you have an approximate date? Is it like the last day or second?
It's typically the last day of school, which right now is the 10th, Friday, June 10th. Yep.
After the kids are
Oh.
dismissed or earlier?
Yeah,
after?
so the students will be out at 10:50. Kim, you have a thought?
Yeah, no, I thought I looked at the calendar and saw that we had school the 13th and 14th. Is that not right?
The
No.
13th,
It was a snow makeup, wasn't it?
it's a snow makeup day. I don't know that we tapped into our snow days
So
yet. have
so
we?
okay. So we also last year we didn't do it on the Friday because of teachers wanting to skedaddle after, but we did it on the first half day. We did it on the Thursday.
The Friday's the
that?
first half day.
Is Friday the first half day?
the-
And then
the
No,
10th.
no,
No?
Thursday the 9th is the first half day.
They don't have the
Unless the
little.
schedule has changed. I'll check on that tomorrow.
I'm looking on my
Okay.
phone. Sometimes it's not.
I'm looking at the original calendar, which has the
Okay.
Thursday and Friday, the 9th and 10th as our half days.
Corbin, I'm
with-
looking at
with-
the website, the academic
Yeah.
calendar, and yeah, it has,
It has graduation on the
graduation is
10th,
the
half
10th,
day,
Yes.
and then Monday's a half day.
and then 14
Tuesday says half day snow makeup day.
professional. No, the
what
Tuesday
it
says a
is?
professional development, no school.
Okay.
And
Well,
then the
I've got
15th
to
is a
check on that.
summer.
I may be missing
Yeah.
a snow day perhaps somewhere. I didn't think we tapped into them, but rather than
Oh.
give false information, and either way, I mean, well,
Well,
we'll
if
want
they
to check
have,
on it.
yeah, if the half day, if we do it on Friday, if it's not the last day, then that'll be fine. But
Mhm.
we could also do it on that Monday, the 13th might be just
Mhm.
with graduation falling on the 10th and everything
Mhm.
else, it might be
Yeah.
better to
Let me get an
schedule it
idea.
on the
Let me get an idea what those last days of school look like, and then we'll pick
Okay.
something.
And
All right.
we're flexible with timing, so it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
I will let you know for sure.
Okay, great.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank
Appreciate you.
Thank you guys for
Thank you
having
for the
us.
opportunity. And we'll,
Yeah,
we'll
thanks for
get
joining us,
everything
and we'll
together.
be in touch.
All right, thank you.
Good.
Take
Good.
care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Were the other, you had Jen Scott and were they going to call in or?
So no, I get to speak on their behalf. Jen
Okay.
teaches a class on Thursday nights, and Camille ended up not being able to come tonight. So Jen and Corbin, I did talk to Corbin about this. Jen and Camille want to do a fundraiser called Coins for Connor. We have a student in our school that was a West Vincent student. I don't know how many of you know about Connor. Corbin, are you able to speak to? Amy, I see you nodding. Do you know about Connor?
Yeah, he was in my son's preschool, and then
Okay.
I followed it on Facebook and
Okay.
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
him on
they're
TV
pretty
and
open. They
everything.
have Facebook
Yeah.
fundraising accounts and everything else. So yeah,
So
Connor has Sanfilippo syndrome, very rare disorder.
Right.
Which, go ahead.
So West Vincent every year did a huge fundraiser to benefit the research for that disease. And so Jen and Camille are wanting to do something similar. I did explain to them that PTA, we have to do whole school events. We're honestly, per our charter, we're not allowed to do an event that benefits one child. Having said that, if we do a whole school event, like a school dance per se, then they could possibly dovetail in that. They could have fundraisers within that school dance, selling soft pretzels, selling shirts, hosting games, whatever it is bottom line, they need to have a cash type of fundraising event, and they need PTA to be their funnel, really is what that is. So and we can do that, but it has to be, a part of a whole school thing, not something that's separate. So then I did bounce this by Corbin a little bit on Monday morning and said, please think it over by our Thursday meeting, the whole idea of the dance, if we're going to get to do that. So then Jen and Camille then could potentially plan their piece of it. So but first of all, how do you guys feel about the Coins for Connor as a part of a bigger event?
Well, just to clarify, I already confirmed with Corbin that he's agreed we can have the dance. So I caught him in the hallway, and I think Kara, you witnessed this, didn't you?
Yes, I definitely did. I heard.
Yeah.
I'm feeling outnumbered. The mind hears what the mind wants to hear, I guess, sometimes.
So I know that one of the big concerns for the dance is faculty are pretty stressed for a variety of reasons. And so getting faculty to come, which we need, all hands on deck, and faculty are beneficial to have there because they know kids, they know the names and faces. So to that end, I don't know, in my memory, we've never done this, but you can call it a motivator, you can call it a bribe, you can call it however you want to call it, but we could potentially have a drawing for a, I don't know, $30, whatever. You name what the teacher wants. You're a teacher, you sign up to come and you spend your 2 hours, your name goes into a bucket for a drawing. I was just trying to brainstorm.
Yeah.
How can we get some teachers there? So that was just a thought. I don't know if we want to go that route. Parents are often hesitant to come to their middle schoolers' activities. I never gave my middle schooler the choice. They didn't never even know that I was going to be there. They would just show up and say, "Oh, Mom, you're here." I'm like, "Yeah, hi, how's it going?" So,
if we do the dance, I mean,
Yep.
let's just start there, I guess. And originally we had talked about April 1st. I think that's probably not reachable now.
Right.
So, let's just get that off the table. Are we doing a dance? And then we can go back to whether we can incorporate this
other thing,
additional
Coins for
fundraiser.
Connor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can talk about the logistics of the dance. So,
all right.
should we vote?
Well,
or is there only one vote that matters here? Mine.
So we're okay to move forward with the dance. I would look, the date that I would throw out there would be Friday, April 22nd. It's after spring break or Easter break, whatever you'd like to call it by. Yet before when PSSA's.
All right, April
begin.
22nd it is. So we have to get a DJ, yeah? We have to get a sign up genius for snacks. Is that, we've got to get the room booked? What else do we have to do here, Kim?
Lots and lots of volunteers.
So you are okay with having parent volunteers?
Uh-huh,
Okay.
yes.
And
I know
have to-
my kids' last school, the parents weren't allowed to go to dances. So.
Well, I
Now
just
the
have to
parent
state
volunteers
right now.
have clearances?
Believe,
Yes,
I
they
believe
have
they
to
need
have
clearances,
clearances.
yes.
Okay.
Jen, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I am actually away I'm away that weekend for a family wedding. Just,
It's a
I know we're
likely
gonna need all
story.
hands on deck.
Well, maybe you
I
can
am
help with some of that
too.
other logistics. There's plenty to
Yeah.
do there, Jen.
Well,
Yeah,
Jen,
no
you're just gonna
worries.
miss out on the dance then. That's all I got to tell you. I mean, I don't know.
I'm a little disappointed. I want to see my awkward middle schooler at the dance.
Well, as long as they get to go, right? Parent
it's an
volunteers,
interesting evening.
clearances, room booking, SUG, DJ, anything else that I'm thinking about here?
They will. I would
Security?
imagine when you reserve the room, they'll ask about security or the need for security. We usually have one. They usually make sure there's one security person on duty.
Okay.
Okay, so
That
ask
night.
for one security guard.
Amy, are
Yes.
you good for the room and security duty?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I always miss it when you're not here.
Going back, well, I won't get ahead of put the cart in front of the horse. I'll follow your
We also need
sequence
to
here.
think about ticket sales. Now, last year we did both online and during lunch sales. I mean, the online is nice because you have your cashless, right? You don't have to worry about that piece of it. But there are an awful lot of, we do have families that prefer cash transactions. So I don't know, Corbin, how do you feel about that? Do you sell any tickets during lunch? What it means too is that you have to have volunteers that come during the lunches. So that can be
I'm
kept.
fine with coming during lunch
Okay.
and I can help.
That would be great, Jen.
Okay, Corbin's having
Oh God.
no. It's
No,
okay,
no,
Corbin.
you're brave coming into our building during a lunch. It's, oh my God.
Just set up in that front part though. Don't go in the lunchroom, actually.
It's
Right,
set
it's
up
just
right
in the
outside the
hallway.
cafeteria. Usually it's set up right outside the cafeteria doors. The main cafeteria doors in the hallway there between the chorus wing and the cafeteria is where we usually sit up. But yeah, we can do that for, I'd keep that to a couple days.
Yeah, I would just do it the
you know.
last, maybe the 20th and then the 21st, maybe, or the 21st and 22nd.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
wouldn't even like I wouldn't even advertise the cash sales at lunches. I would advertise up front only the online sales, see what we get from that. And then maybe the last 2 days before the dance, say, okay, we're gonna also open up and sell tickets the next 2 days during lunches for others who want to purchase in cash. And then we've got to decide whether we want to sell any at the door, sell tickets at the door that night.
Yeah,
My
let me see.
that we
No.
we always, it's not convenient, but we have a lot of students who show up and pay at the door.
Yeah,
I think we
me too.
should do it. I think we should,
Always.
to be honest. I mean, it's kids forget to ask their parents and that, it's like, I hate to limit anybody if there isn't a real good
Yeah.
rationale to not do it.
Yeah. So we usually have a printout of all, like a 7th grade list of students and an 8th grade list of students, because we need to make sure that no kids are coming in from other schools.
Oh, okay.
Every year
Right,
we have,
that's a big thing.
we have students who try to sneak in friends, or
Yes.
whether it be boyfriends,
Yes.
girlfriends, or just friends from other schools. And
Yes.
that is absolute no-no.
That
So,
happened with our gingerbread house thing. We didn't have a way to check that, and we had parents bring kids from other non-OJR middle school kids.
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, that night happened to be flexible enough and we had space, but that's not the case for a dance. And guys, you can expect typically with 3 dances a year, the first dance is the has the highest attendance. Second dance is, you know, it dwindles from there. Okay. We haven't had a dance in 2 years and this will be the one and only, although 8th grade is holding their dance for their end of year. So there will
Yeah,
be dances for the 8th grade.
we typically don't get a whole lot of 8th graders attending dances, especially now with this one, they're going to have theirs, you know, just a few weeks later.
Mhm.
I forget the date we have set aside for theirs. I want to say the 3rd, but I could be wrong on that, but of June. Yeah, so their dance will be right around the corner, and many of them will just wait until that dance rolls around. But I would expect a very strong 7th grade showing
Or not. Yeah.
at the dance. Yeah,
You might have more 8th graders than usual just because they didn't get one last
perhaps.
year.
Yeah,
You never know.
perhaps.
So who do we need to contact for the DJ? Has anybody done that in the past, willing to take that on?
So let's my suggestion is the DJ for the 8th grade dance. When I met him last year and I asked him if he'd be willing to come and do our school dances, and he was, you know, all over it. We've had a
DJ
variety.
Shorty.
Yeah, DJ Shorty. Yeah. So he did a great job then. We've had a variety of we've had some good DJs over the years.
Mhm.
But the thing is that if we can possibly bargain with him. Now, obviously, if we were having multiple dances plus the 8th grade dance, and then that would give us a even better bargaining tool. I don't know. Is it Katie Dede who's probably already reached out to him regarding the 8th grade dance? Do you
Yeah,
think,
Sue
Corbin?
White.
Okay.
I just signed a pay approval for him, so I know Sue.
Is the 8th grade having a separate dance?
Yeah, they always aside from last year, they always have a separate
Okay.
8th grade
And
dance.
when
So
is
this
their
one
dance?
I believe I want to say it's June 3rd, but don't quote me on that. If it's not the first Friday in June, it's the last Friday in May.
Okay.
I think it's June 3rd, Friday.
So
June
Kim,
3rd.
can you get?
Yeah, I'll find out about that, and so Corbin, I should talk to Sue and then reach out
Yes,
to
Sue
Shorty
can,
through
Sue
him.
can hook
Okay.
you up with DJ Shorty. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if they've already made their deal, I don't know if he'll go back. I don't know. I'll just ask him. I don't know.
Okay. Let's
Maybe
see where we
that's-
are with that.
That is typically our only expense is the DJ, because we,
All
you know,
right.
parents donate all the snacks. Then we have, you know, then we just have volunteers.
Should we put the SUG for snacks and parent volunteers all together in one thing?
I would
I would.
suggest all in
Okay.
one. Yeah.
And who can do that? Who's willing to pick that
Do
up?
we
Is
have
that-
one from any previous year?
We do. Yeah. We usually, if we go
We would have to
the
go back
sign-up
to
sheet,
what,
just-
2019 or something?
Yeah. Yeah. That should be there. Yeah.
All right. I'll
A
take
couple of
look.
years ago.
Right.
What are we gonna be charging for tickets?
It's typically $5 they had for
$5,
the
yeah.
tickets. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to put together a flyer and get that in the
Mhm.
weekly bit
Yeah.
there. Who did
we-
a really cool one? The last one with the gingerbread house. That one was really good.
Tara did, right?
Oh, that was me. You want me to
Oh,
do another one?
yeah. I was just getting ready to volunteer you.
Yeah, do we have a theme? Do we care? Or just something fun?
We
Something fun.
typically don't have themes for these dances for the 7th and 8th grade dances.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 8th grade dance that the student council runs, they always have a theme for it, but I think the theme for this one could be survival. Maybe you can vote kids out of the dance every 5 minutes or so, and
I would like
So it
that.
can end
All
early.
right.
yeah,
What's the date's the 22nd? What time do we usually do?
it's 7 to 9.
And it's the 22nd of April?
Yeah, Kara.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
22nd of April. Kara, you might want to put on there that they're not. They have to be OJR middle school student.
No friends invited.
friends. I don't
No
know if you
friends from
heard
other
that.
schools.
I did, yep. And
Okay.
then in the middle school cafeteria?
It's in the
Yes.
cafeteria, yes.
Can we use that side entry? Just have the one entry?
We
It
do.
might just be easier to
So,
contain them if we can
I'm gonna
block
tell
off that
you,
hallway.
I'm going to make a different suggestion there. There's too many that come in. That can be our exit, but
Okay.
you don't want your entry there. Is
All right.
you're going to have kids buying tickets, and you want a separate line for having to
Okay.
purchase, and those that are just checking in and maybe getting a stamp on their hand showing that they have checked in, they've paid, and they're clear to be in the building. You know
Are
that
we
they are
allowed
student and they
to,
paid.
I mean, not hard block, but are we
Yeah,
allowed
we
to like
do.
put
We
some
do.
paper block or something?
Yeah, we've
in the
got
hallway?
it's an accordion. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Corbin, that
Little-
accordion.
yeah,
like
they're like little
3-foot
stanchions, little
wall.
accordion
Yeah.
stanchions.
Yeah.
Now you
that
might
we
even be able
use
to,
block
what
off.
might be even simpler than that, Kim, so you're not separating lines at the door. You could say those who paid in advance come in that door down the side door by the calf.
There you
Those
go.
those who need to
Yeah.
purchase tickets at the door come in through the main entrance.
I'm just thinking
like
that
it.
throughout the dance, we're gonna have to have, I know
Yeah.
when we did the gingerbread house and the kids kind of left
Yeah.
they kind of
Yeah.
go all over the place, so we
Yeah.
have to.
And
So-
we also usually, I'm sorry, Corbin, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, we always, throughout the dance, we always have a parent volunteer or two seated at that door. Then we just keep the table by that side door until the dance, and they, kind of blocking the door so no one can exit. We also put a door in front of the doors leading to the chorus and band room so that they can't go back into that chorus wing. Because if you go back in there, you can also exit the building through the doors in the chorus wing.
Yes.
And then we usually station some folks at the front door so that the kids aren't leaving.
Okay.
We're pretty mindful of where all the egress points are from.
So
the
how many
traffic.
volunteers do you think we need? 8 or?
Oh, boy. Well, we like to have some volunteers to kind of hang out by the bathrooms and make regular swings through the bathrooms to make sure there's no nonsense. We have volunteers who are standing at the concession, at the food tables to make sure
Mhm.
kids aren't, acting a fool there and grabbing everything in sight. And so it's, I would
Right.
say a minimum of 10
10,
volunteers.
yep.
Yeah.
Are you okay with high school students helping or no?
We've had that in the past. I'd prefer parents with that. I don't mind high school students being there.
Yeah.
At all, as long as they're not taking money, they can't have them taking money at the front table or anything like
Yeah,
that. That
yeah,
has to
yeah.
be a parent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Having a high school student work the door where they're checking students in is great,
Yeah.
but as far as the people, the volunteers that are in the dance kind of, chaperoning, walking around, we need adults there and
Yeah.
the adults manning the bathrooms and the doors.
Yeah, as long as high school students that kind of understand who to go to with chain of command. Sometimes you get an overzealous high school student who wants to come in and try to drop the hammer on a middle school student and it's just, it doesn't work, doesn't go over well. So as long as they know, where the adults are, I'm fine with more the merrier as far as being able to
Okay.
report what they see. And hey, I just saw kids in the bathroom that are goofing off or
Right.
Yeah.
have a vape or something like that. We need to know those things.
Okay. Great.
Awesome.
Good start.
May I ask also about, I don't know how many we have right now, but we to do some kind of decoration. It doesn't have to be anything big, but the gingerbread house, we kind of taped lights to the wall. It was just
Hey,
nice.
I thought it worked.
Added, I know it did. I don't know. It just added something. So I would like to suggest that we do just light, just
We could do lights again. I mean,
light as in, but not heavy decorations is what I mean, but have some decorations, just adds, it's just nice. But we need to think about what we have already and then what we would want.
do you want to, Kim, do you want to like come up with how you want it decorated and then just email out a list and we can volunteer to pull
Sure.
stuff or? What are
we
you
can. I
thinking?
mean, it's just going to be, I'm telling you, the kids come from, they go back and forth between the cafeteria where the music is and getting food. And then there are some, we oftentimes will set up a few tables right there in the lobby besides the high top table so they can just sit and, have that area to visit and eat their food or whatever. So there's really not a lot of, you don't want a lot out on the tables because
Yeah.
they
We'll
kind
be
of,
cleaning it up.
yeah.
Okay.
But lights
Kim?
around the cafeteria. Yes.
Would you guys have any, anything, like, I've never seen your closet and all that good stuff, because obviously elementary school has like lots of crap. So like we have all the balloon tower stuff, the plastic pieces. Do you guys have anything in there that you can think of that we could reuse?
Most of it's holiday stuff, Kara.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
Kara,
know.
there's some spring stuff, some more like Eastery type things.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Okay.
I would do like, you could do 2 balloon art things at the entry, and they're super easy to do. You just there are these little plastic, they're called flowers, and you just literally hook 6 balloons in, and there's a circle on it, and you put it over. We used to put them over the mic stands from the stage. Or you can get like a PVC pipe, and then you've got a tower of balloons in 30 minutes. Those are easy. And then I would just do
Usually
a
at these
selfie
dances, we
station.
had like a picture area where it's just like a backdrop that'll say
Selfie.
like spring
Yep.
dance or something like that with some stars or something around the outside of it. And then kids always go there and take, selfies or pictures with a group of friends or something like that. So that
You
was
might be able to
usually-
put some props by that, Corbin. Little silly
We've
props.
we've seen that as well. These little mustaches on a stick and the hats and stuff like that. We've seen. Now, I would caution you because those things, they last about 20 minutes and then kids start running around with them in their hands and taking them and wearing them and boas and feathers all over the place. So they don't last very long.
You'd have to have a volunteer station there if you have
That's
if you have
right.
a props to just manage that piece. But if we do have a selfie station, I would recommend 2 selfie stations, because if we have even 400 kids there, 400 kids filtering through one selfie station is a lot in 2 hours. Not that everybody will do that, but have them situated in a little bit different areas so that you have your crowding better managed.
Did you guys do like we did for the gingerbread? Just put the long tables for the snacks and
Yeah,
just put some tablecloths
I
and
don't-
things on that.
yeah, that's exactly what we do.
The long tables were in that hall, the LGI hallway, pretty much running from the lobby down to the FCS room.
Yeah,
Okay.
just all the
You
way
keep them
down.
all out in the hallway, the food?
We
Yes.
do.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And
the
we
cafeteria itself is
typically-
kind of empty then? It's just
Correct.
okay.
Correct. We typically keep the drinks to water. That's it. Now, we've done different things in the past, bottled water, the little bottled waters versus cups of water. I mean, you've got waste either way. You've either got cups you're throwing away or you have, bottles. But if we do bottled water, I would really go with the small bottles. Kids don't usually stand still long enough to drink a whole bottle, and then you have them. It's not that they won't drink them, but they set them down and then they don't know that, where they are. So
There's probably less chance to spill too if it's the little bottles as opposed to cups, I think.
yeah. And then we usually have the round of, cookies and chips and brownies and, junk.
Okay. All right, well, let's get that underway. I think if we can have that planned by, what do you think, the next 2 weeks, we should be in good shape?
Yeah. Well, I would start advertising at the dance. Oh yeah. The dance we're doing on.
It gives us a little over a
March.
month.
Yeah.
I'll put a save the date in my email tomorrow to
Okay.
Update the families tomorrow.
If we start pushing it at school with start trickling in announcements and stuff around the 7th of March, that's a full 3 weeks. And I think that's plenty.
Okay.
I agree.
I think so. Do we get would Sue put Kim, maybe I don't know this, and I should probably know this detail. Would Sue be the one who like put the dance on school pay?
No. Oh, on
how?
school pay. Now that's a good question. So PTA does have.
Oh, that's right. You
do
you
that.
didn't use school pay. You use something.
Yeah, we
Right.
have our own little
Right.
system.
Okay, I forget
Member Hub.
forget that then. Disregard.
But I'm glad you brought that up though, because that means we need to, if we're going to use Member Hub to sell tickets, we need to create that event in Member Hub and set up the tickets and provide that link for.
So
people
that's
to
a pretty
purchase
big
tickets.
to do. And that
Yeah, that's
to-do list you're
yeah.
making, Catherine, that's a big one.
So we have to
Okay.
do Member Hub tickets? So it's-
Tickets. Yeah. Yes, member hub tickets. Yep. Yep.
Oh, boy. All right. Anyone volunteering for that?
I don't know. Jen, are you comfortable doing that?
I think I somehow figured it out for the
You did.
gingerbreads and it works.
Yeah, you did.
So
Yeah.
I will try it again.
Okay.
And that's
Thanks,
just
Jen.
a link then, right, Jen? You just provide a link to me that I could push out.
Yeah.
The families and.
Getting the list of
Yeah.
students, will we get that from Sue?
Yeah, I can get the list of students in each grade. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what we could do is, in addition to the list of students, any of the ones that are on the member hub, we could just have them paid
Right.
on there. So what, whoever's at the door knows.
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We just have to cross-reference that. It's from the day, especially if we're selling tickets the day of the dance at lunches and the day before, then we have to definitely update our list for that night, making sure that we've got everybody
Okay.
marked.
Okay. All right. I'll just recap real quick before we switch. So we're going to do the dance on Friday, this 22nd, $5 entry fee from 7 to 9 in the cafeteria. Amy is going to get our room booked and security. We have the SUG for snacks and parent and clearance volunteers. Who is going to set the SUG up? Do we have anybody against
I'm
that yet?
looking at it now.
Okay,
I was
Amy's
looking at the
gonna
old
do
one.
that.
Yeah.
Did you find it, Amy? You
Yeah, I
found it?
did finally find it.
Cool.
Jen, you're going to do ticket sales online during
I
the
will.
lunch break
And I will set it up through Member Hub.
and set it up through Member Hub. Corbin, you're going to get a list of students for us. I will work on a list of the decorations and get some advice from Kim. Kim, you're going to check on the DJ Shorty for us.
Yes.
And Kara is going to set up a flyer or design a flyer for us that we can attach in the weekly newsletter over the next few weeks to advertise. Did I miss anything?
No, are we, you guys are okay then with the coins for Connor? Do whatever they want to do,
So-
fundraiser
now-
within that?
Well, now that we've
Yeah.
kind of gone through this, like, I think if they're willing
Yeah.
to set something up, would we want to have it be part of, like, take away some of the snacks off of our list or something? I mean, what did they have in mind?
I don't know. They just needed to know if it was okay. And I had suggested to them, if I told them the scenario, that they could come and be a part of the dance and come up with something. I mean, I suggested possibly soft pretzels because those sell great. And that's a nice cash exchange.
Can they
and
just
cash exchange.
take donations, or is that not allowed?
They could. No, they could. They could take donations also. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll have to ask them what they have in mind.
Okay.
But, space wise, we would just need to cordon off basically an area. In my mind, I'm envisioning the lobby, someplace in the lobby that would be, separate from the dance, but still, you'd have the dance and then the whole hallway of food and then Connor fundraising area, which would be kind of nice. Something to offset the dances. Not all the kids want to hang out in the loud music area where there's a lot of people the
Mhm,
whole time.
mhm.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
I'm
Corbin?
okay with it. Everybody
Yeah.
else?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, they could even think of, it doesn't have to be food. I mean, if they wanted to, for example, make the little things, props for them to use for the selfies, or, I mean, it could be
That's
anything
true.
like that.
That's true.
Just let us know
Yeah.
what it is, and what we can do is pull back on our side so we aren't competing with
Yeah.
them.
Right. Well, and the competition is going to be that our food is for free, but
Right.
their edge
That's
is
what I
that they're
mean,
raising
yeah.
money for Connor. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Um,
If we were going to have a pretzel tray, for example, and they want to sell
Right.
pretzels, we would not
Right.
bring in a
Not have
pretzel tray.
pretzels. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. I'm glad that will work out.
Can I just review real quick what's on the Sign Up Genius from last time? It has brownies, individual chip bags, I guess, cookies, mini cupcakes, Rice Krispie treats, Philly Pretzel Factory, and then they had lemonade, so I deleted that.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna put the mini water bottles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And Amy, I apologize. I will loop you into the conversation with Camille and Jen so that if they want to do something food based for their activities,
right.
then we'll adjust accordingly.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Right.
I mean, they might want to sell soft drinks since we're not providing soft drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Could do
that
that.
might, they could go to Costco and get a bunch of cases of those.
Absolutely.
And they would
That's
probably
true.
go pretty well.
It's funny. The year that we did escape rooms as part of as a side hustle on our dance, that was the award for that's your prize when you got escaped. You got
Yeah.
sodas.
Very
Yep.
good. I see Megan join us. Hi, Megan. Your friends came earlier, so that worked out.
Did it start at 7?
6:30, but it's
6:30.
okay.
Gosh, I am
No worries.
I won't
You,
get in.
worry about it.
you helped me look less frazzled, so I appreciate it.
We got them
Yeah.
taken care of.
Very good. Yeah.
They're
Well,
good.
I am so rude. Not only did I invite them, I wasn't even there when it started.
It's all right. It allowed us to talk about you without you being present. I'm just kidding. Before we switch over to the next topic, which I didn't get an agenda out, apologies, guys. I did make one. It's really scrabbly though. I just wanted to take a second and see if Kara, you and Jen wanted to give a quick update on the book fair. I know we sort of passed some notes around, but I'm not sure if everybody was able to hear all of the good things that you guys did there. So I don't know. And Kara, we were talking about you earlier. So again, thanks so much for organizing that. It was really a great event. And I think that's something we should probably just keep on the PTA as long as, that would be my suggestion, as long as they're interested in letting us host it. 'Cause I think that was a pretty big event there. So I don't know, Kara, if you want to just give a quick rundown of the numbers, or Jen, one of you two.
Yeah. Jen, did you get the thing I sent you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah, so the overall money brought in was $4,428.52. So there were some sales tax taken out of it. So then the net, the total actual sales that we could, count on for money was $4,177.85. And then I have a check that Catherine, I guess you'll be signing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So of that money, we pay Scholastic back $1,975.05, which gives us a profit of $1,044.46.
Wow.
Which, talking about the generosity of our middle schoolers, the number in my final report is a little bit larger because we ended up with $5.28. Actually, that's slightly off because we moved the cash register as we did our final deposit. We're getting ready and we found 54 more cents that the kids just leave behind. So our middle schoolers donated $5.82 worth of change.
Wow.
Yeah, they were very generous with borrowing, $1 from someone to pay off their stash and then telling us to keep the change or not getting back to us. So I'm hoping it works out for Connor at the dance. They don't seem to want to run around with change.
You can pass that tip on, make everything be like, 85 cents or something like that. That's really great.
Actually, you're probably on to something if you really did want to get Connor a
Yeah,
lot of
do the
money.
round up. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, thanks so much again. That was a great event. The last thing I had on my agenda from carryover, because we talked a little bit about, we've got the year luncheon for the parents, and we'll get the caterers back from that. And I'd suggest that'll be our main topic probably at our next meeting, to try to get that organized. But we had on our, I had in my notes the May 2nd through 6th Teacher Appreciation Week. And we had talked about doing something for that, something about maybe having the kids leave the teacher's notes. I can't hardly read my, there was a Google form or a QR code, something like that I have in my notes that we talked about doing that. Apple cutouts for these notes. Is this ringing a bell?
Mhm.
I've got this side, written around in circles here.
Yeah, but even before that, we were gonna do another drawing for the teachers for St. Patrick's Day with the scratch offs.
Were we going to do the drawing, or did we talk about at one point we talked about just getting dollar ones and putting them in there, giving one to everybody? Is that, or were we not? That was just one thought. Go ahead.
Corbin, you said our number is 130, because
Yeah,
I
that's
think
about
that
right.
puts us over. Slightly
Yeah,
over.
somewhere thereabouts, yeah.
Mhm.
What's our budget for that?
I think we had set aside 200. So I guess that would work if we did 130 just scratch offs.
Yeah.
What do you think the teachers would prefer there, Corbin? A bigger scratch off as a drawing, or everyone
Are you
get
talking about now for some
St.
for a
Patrick's
teacher
Day?
St. Patrick's
St.
Day?
Patty's
Okay.
Day.
Yeah, we skipped
No,
there, but
I mean,
we'll go back.
they're not expecting anything, so it's fun to have a $1 scratch off ticket and
Yeah.
see if
thought-
you win. You know?
If we do that, I was going to suggest maybe we can ask Camille Dean if her students wanted to go and deliver them to the teachers that day, as opposed to
Mhm.
putting them in their mailbox, going to each
Mhm.
classroom. Happy St. Patty's Day. Good luck. We can have I can ask ahead of time. They can, I'll have to go get some green construction paper, but they can cut out, the 4-leaf clover and attach the scratch off ticket to it, and
Mhm.
then deliver them to every classroom. What do you guys think?
I think
That would be great. You think that they would be interested in doing that?
Yeah.
This is what's that
that
club
is
called?
right up their alley. Well, it's not even the club. It's her students. They're
Her
the
students.
Life skills
Yeah.
student.
Life
life
skills.
skills, yeah. She's always looking for things that these are the kinds of things that they can do and do well.
I think
Connor's in
that'd
that
be
class, as a
wonderful.
matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just need to, that means I'll go buy, hopefully I can find just green paper, or maybe I'll order it on Amazon.
Check in
I
the
know you can
office
get about
first, Kim. We might.
Oh.
It's for the teachers, so we
Mhm.
might have some in the office.
Like check with Sue, do you mean?
Yeah,
Or
check with
in the
Sue.
closet? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just construction paper. Yeah, check with Sue.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll try to do that. I'll try to check tomorrow and see what I can find out, so we know where we stand, and then talk to Camille.
Okay.
I think that.
So Kim,
we'll find
you'll get that piece, and then
Yeah.
Jen, are you wanting to pick up the scratch off tickets, or do you want me to get that, or how would you
Yeah,
like to do it?
I can go pick up the scratch offs.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're, Jen, if you're able to get those by early next week, because that way they can go ahead and get them prepped. It'll take them a few days, to.
So $131.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$130. Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone?
I'm good with.
All right,
Mhm.
cool. So then for
And
the
then-
teacher appreciation, would we follow it up with just the personal notes?
Yeah. Do you want to did you guys like that? Go ahead, Jen.
Right, and teacher appreciations, the week is May.
May
May
2nd through the
2nd to the
6th.
6th. 2nd to the
So
6th.
let's see, we could
Mhm.
target, let's see.
So-
That's a whole week, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So we could target maybe the 4th.
Now we
What's-
Yeah.
can't, so you have to do that during April. You have to do that during April. You have to get the notes. They have to be.
No,
all
I mean,
collected.
when we would give them out,
I know.
Yeah,
Right.
so we would need to plan for that now.
Mhm.
So we would cut out apples. Is that what we're saying? Apple cutouts?
We'll ask Camille students if they want to cut out. Yeah, I'm telling you, they love doing that.
Okay.
That's a great thing. So,
So when you ask her about the 4-leaf clover, they could do
yeah,
apple
the 4-leaf
4-leaf
clover thing.
clover.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then how would we distribute them? Are we just going to get the QR code and then print it off and put it on there?
Yeah, so what we did last year is a Google form, and we had we did have a QR code where the kids, we had them set up at lunch in the morning, so they could QR, scan to the Google form, and they would write a note to their teacher, and then it downloads into, a spreadsheet, and Camille went in and reformatted it so it was the right size and shape for the apple, and they cut them out and they glued them on to their apples and then delivered them.
So how do we set up this Google form, Kim? Does anybody know how to do that?
Yeah, we can set it. Actually, we probably still have it from last year, but yeah, we can do that. Is there anything, Corbin, is there any other twist to that something different this year? Or do you think that would just be okay to do again, just the straight notes from the kids?
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna feed them on Monday of that week, the first day of
Okay.
Teacher Appreciation Week. We have some boxed lunches coming in for all the teachers from caterer. So
Oh, nice.
that's a good other thing to do. Yeah.
Okay. We do have the yard signs that we put out last year, just in that front area. Oh, yeah. And if we are club, I did ask for Teacher Appreciation Week. We have 2 clubs that are kind of art based. And I did talk to both of those teachers. If the club, we just don't know with different days, if club falls during that week or right before that week, both clubs are willing to do sidewalk chalk as part of Teacher Appreciation Week. I just don't know. It's hard. You really have to visit that in April, only because we've had days where we've had early dismissal and other interruptions to the schedule. So you can't predict this far ahead of time when a day 6 club day is going to fall.
I can predict that for you right now. Friday of that week is supposed to be a club day.
So that would be
Friday
the
the
6th. Oh, on the 6th. Okay.
Correct.
What's the one before that? That's going to be a couple of weeks ahead of time. Then
Yeah, that'll be April 6th.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to work because that means they don't go to the last 30 minutes of the day. So if the kids are not decorating the sidewalks to the last 30 minutes of the day of the last day of Teacher Appreciation Week, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're not.
It'll be too late.
It's too
Okay,
late.
well, let's focus on the apple cutouts. I still need to figure out what we're doing with this Google form thing.
I still think, so we also have for 7th grade during when there are days that are, there's motivation day. There's also game day. And Corbin, if you're okay with it, we can take our win classes out and decorate during the week that week so that it's earlier in the week. So there'll be at least 2 days and we can alternate with some. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the sidewalk chalk just adds a nice part to it. So do you now Corbin, do you have a schedule this far ahead of time of today's day 5. So it's the other even days that are, what was today? Yeah, today's day 5. So it's the odd number days that would, I don't know, whatever.
What do you need to know?
I'm thinking out loud and it's not working. We'll figure it out. I'll just talk to the different teams and it's for the teachers. So, I wouldn't want more than a couple of classes out at the time. But here's the thing. You've got the whole front sidewalk and you've got a lot of teachers that park in the back of the building too. So decorating some of the sidewalks in the back of the building would be great. And that makes just more space for kids to work and classes to spread out. So then the only question is chalk. Is PTA okay with buying chalk for that week? Because it takes a lot of chalk. The cement wears it down really fast.
I will donate the chalk.
Aw, thanks, Kara.
I think I'm trying to look. I think we have a line item for chalk. Maybe we took it out this year. I think that was for last year.
Maybe.
Catherine, there is a folder for the Teacher Appreciation Week, and it does have our code and the Google form.
A form, it's a folder.
Yeah, there's a folder under faculty/staff events.
Is that in the email account?
That is in the Google Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, the email. Yeah, the same one, the email. I don't know if we can reuse this form, or maybe we can just modify it or whatever. Because it has
Yeah.
responses already, so.
You can copy it. You can
Okay.
copy it
And then make a new
you know,
one.
make a new one. Mhm.
I
Just
haven't been in
like-
that Google Drive in 6 months. How do you get in there? You think? I'm not kidding.
It's-
Oh, Catherine, we should have
You
gone
know-
through this while we were sitting in the library.
You
Hey,
got a whole tutorial. Yes.
Do you know
we
how to
still are.
use do you know how to log into Gmail?
yeah,
If you log into Gmail and there's little dots next to the left of the Wildcat icon, and then
Yeah.
that'll give you
Do a screen share, Amy. Do
yeah, I
a
was gonna
screen
say
share
that
right
would
now.
be easier, right?
Do that right
Hold on,
now.
let me see if I can,
Okay, yeah, you gotta let me.
okay, you should be good.
Okay. All right, can
There
you
you
guys see me
go.
all right?
Yep.
Okay, so Catherine, this is I'm logged in, so it has the
Okay.
Wildcat.
the Wildcat, right? And then these little dots here are all the
Mhm.
all your apps.
They call
So
that
if
the
you
waffle.
if you go to Drive, no, I can't remember where it was. Okay, so it was under PTA events and then faculty staff events
okay.
and then teacher appreciation week. They're just little folders. Think of
Got
them
it.
like a folder. So I made a copy of this one, like Kim suggested, and then I guess it's just self-explanatory.
Mhm, mhm.
And then I don't know, would we have to make new QR codes?
We
Or
would.
would those, okay, so
Now-
those would have to be
now-
different.
I would suggest, just from doing this last year, that on the Google form, where it says teacher name, I would
Yeah.
suggest making that a drop-down menu, just because the kids have a hard time spelling names. And, they're like, oh, wait a minute, I want that, that teacher. I don't know. But it's going to be, I mean, it's a lot of teachers, but
Yeah,
anyway,
I don't know if there's
yeah.
an easy way to
yeah, you just
upload
kinda-
them, probably not, but
And we might, I don't know if this would be helpful or not. It may have to be, I don't know how many options you can squeeze in to that, but we might have to separate that out and do like a box for 7th grade teachers and a box for 8th grade teachers. Or even though like right now where I am, I'm doing both, but just pick one.
How does it work?
But-
Like, I mean, is it a thing where we need to make sure every teacher gets a card, or how does that
So
work?
I did think about that too. I would say that by maybe by the last week of April, would check with Camille. Camille managed the whole thing last year. She did the whole thing, and I would say that that's one thing we do need to keep tabs on, is to make sure that every person, every teacher gets at least one note.
Okay.
Now I don't know. Do you guys are and Corbin, you can have your input here too. It's called Teacher Appreciation Week. Do we limit it to just teachers? Or are we opening it up to other, our aides and are just making sure that, I don't know, because the kids, I don't know. In my mind, the aides are just as much they are in the classroom. They're helping the kids learn. I don't know. Corbin, what do you think?
that's a lot of names I gotta enter.
I know. I'll have to help you with that. I'll do it.
That'd be a way to copy and paste them in, you think.
You would think.
Yeah, I'm okay with including the powers in that.
But maybe not. Now, what about in office staff or other staff guidance?
Guidance, yes. Nurse, yes.
Yeah.
And what are we gonna call it?
Well, then,
Think a person?
Yeah.
I think
well,
faculty or just faculty and staff. I mean, takes a
yeah,
village, right? And that you
yes,
never
it
know who's
does.
meaningful to a student. I think
That's
any
right.
opportunity
Think
somebody
a
has to
faculty
be
member
positive.
or thank a staff member? How do you want me to write that?
Yeah. I don't know. Corbin, what do you think? What think
Just say faculty and staff. I think that's inclusive.
you can say teacher. Now I get a little twisted here when I think about now if we think of 7th grade versus 8th grade. I don't know, Corbin. I don't know the best way to organize it. You can organize it by team, red team, although we've got kids that are cross teamed, or you can organize it by math, science, by content area. But then you've got your paras. So I don't know what you would call that. I'm just not sure. I guess what we have to do, we can probably Google Google how many people can you put in a drop down menu, because
Right.
that's going to define how we organize it. I don't know. I can ask Camille
I
too.
think they can handle spelling the teachers' names. I say, let's make it simple.
Is it good? Okay, we can try it.
This is 1,000 rows, but
holy mackerel. Well, we don't have to put in 1,000. I can tell you.
yeah,
that.
I was gonna say
So
that
that's
doesn't
good.
seem like.
I mean,
There has to be a way to import something as well.
well, you would think, but I mean,
I've done worse. Just give me a list.
For kids.
It'll make it easier if I have a list and I can just
yeah,
bam, bam, bam.
yeah. No, I hear you. Well,
Right, that's cool.
we can generate a list. Yeah, we can get that. Let's do for the list.
All right.
Right, the last item I had was, I would really like to have a 2022, 2023 planning session. And the idea here is that there's probably, 3 or 4, maybe 5 things that each year we're going to do. And I think, if we could set up the next board with having these things already scheduled, sort of a template there, they can hit the ground kind of running a little bit.
Yep.
And so I wanted to think about that and see if you guys were receptive. The other thing is to maybe have a little bit of a membership drive the month before school's out. And we could solicit, I've talked to a couple of the elementary school PTO, I guess East Coventry is a PTO. And they would be willing, at least the ones I've talked to, and maybe the others will as well, if we wanted to give our barcode and set up a sign at their school, just again, trying to set up that next year's board with a running membership, and maybe you already have a couple things in the works so that, they're not having to, plan every month like we've been doing. And so then that means we also kind of need to get in the next year's board in place. So I don't know how you guys worked on that, how much far out you did, what the thoughts are about going about that.
Yeah,
but should we be advertising?
Yeah, there's a whole process. There's a whole process here, and it's all in the bylaws. You have to have a nominating committee. Basically the way the nominating committee works is, and I don't love this, but it's how it's written. They act as the primary. So you try to round up people who are interested in being on the board. Your nominating committee vets those people. If there's more than one person that is interested in a position, then the nominating committee puts forth a final slate of names with one name for each position. That is supposed to be posted 1 month before elections. And then, so that is out there for everybody to see. And then the night of elections, if your name doesn't get on the slate, you can self-nominate the night of elections. That's never happened. I think it's a rarity. Never happened in my experience, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. But the hardest thing, first thing you got to do is, we have to get a nominating committee, which has to be an odd number, typically 3 people. I have had 5 at one time, but typically 3 people.
They from not on this current board.
Right. Right. It
Just that-
it can be a person on the current board if that person is not running for a position, so that it's not,
Okay.
you know, it's not
Mhm.
a conflict of interest. But we've, like Jen Scott, you know, we've had a teacher on the nominating committee in the past, which is nice, you know, nice to have that.
Okay.
And basically,
All right, well,
in
let
the
me go
last-
and read the bylaws again and I'll figure that out,
Okay.
but we should probably get that started here soon.
yeah,
And
the last couple of years with COVID, the nominating committee pretty much met virtually 100%, you know, because
Mhm.
they couldn't meet. So it can be done virtually is the point, like we've discovered about so many
Yeah.
things,
yeah,
which is helpful in many ways, you know, getting people together.
I will follow up on these speakers that we had suggested for this meeting that I didn't follow up on last time, but are there any other suggestions for speakers? Because what I was going to also suggest is if we wanted to do the April meeting at school. So we are going to have some speakers, and maybe we could we could then also be prepared to maybe have some advertisements about the board and some different things like that all in one. I don't know what if you sounds like you haven't had great attendance in the past, but
So we need to look at that April date because we have it. I think it looks like we have it on the 7th, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if we have that on the 7th, if the next night is the middle school play, and then that goes right into spring break. So just be aware.
not a great attendance. Is that
Right.
what you're thinking?
Well, no, it could be, you know, especially if we have
Okay.
a strong speaker and we advertise it with enough time. And I would say, you know, when years ago, when we were meeting in person, we would
Mhm.
have hot coffee and some, you know, waters and just some cookies, just light, you know, just as a welcoming, nothing major. We can use all the stuff from FCS. We clean it all up there just like we have done other times.
We could do that. That's not a problem. I mean,
Yeah.
what numbers are looking at? Like
Oh,
a dozen most?
yeah. You're not.
Yeah, that
it's
should be
not
easy
big.
enough to plan for. But
Yeah.
are we thinking to stick with? So I had down here Matt Charleston
Mhm.
and
Stacia Bickle,
Stacia Bickle, and then
whose birthday is today.
Camille Dean for the race and equity.
Yes.
Is that still what you guys would prefer?
Yeah. I mean, Camille may suggest, you know, defer to someone else, but she's a good starting point.
Okay.
Do you
Does
agree with that?
anybody know how to
Corbin?
get in? How do we get in touch with?
Race and equity
sorry,
to Camille and Haley DiCarlo.
Yeah, Haley DiCarlo. Yeah, would be another race and equity contact.
I just, you know, I don't know what draw will be there. I'm trying to think of something that would perhaps draw people in.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that.
Corbin, is there any particular topic of concern to parents that's kind of trickled your way? That we could address?
Nothing uniform, like no theme that's popping up
Okay.
with that. I mean,
Okay.
We got some comments in the chat. I didn't look. Hmm,
It's just me putting how to upload a form.
That's great.
okay.
Yeah, thank you, Kara. I'll look at that. If I have any questions, I'll contact you.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
Okay, thank you.
Amy, can you see if we can get what do we normally meet when we're on campus?
And what is it? The
LGI.
LGI?
LGI.
LGI.
Mhm.
Can you see if we can get the LGI for that day?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem based on,
Okay.
I
Let me
don't think
just
anyone really
look.
uses it.
I have some travel coming up. This has been my week of travel, but I am away April 7th, 8th, 9th, in the following week. Is
Oh.
someone else willing to chair that meeting?
We can, or I mean, it hasn't been, we could potentially look at the 6th the night before. I mean, I don't know how that dovetails with your travel. I don't.
I'm leaving on the 7th, so the
You want
6th is
to.
fine, but it's more around Corbin, your schedule.
Mhm.
I know that the 6th was a conflict for a lot of people when we were
Talking about April 6th.
Yeah,
Let me check on that.
or any of Monday,
Or the
Tuesday,
following
Wednesday
week.
that week.
Following week, I'm going on vacation, but that April 6th, I don't think is an issue. Let me just check here.
There's an aid meeting for North Coventry at 7 p.m. that night. I'm not sure if they have a speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah, any of those days are okay for me, the Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Theoretically.
well, maybe we shoot for Tuesday then, so we don't interfere with the aid committee, you know.
The 5th. So Kara, if you could update the website with that new date, please, the Facebook. And then Amy, if you could just see if we can get the LGI for the 5th. And then we'll plan on that. That would be great. I'm glad we looked. I looked
Yeah.
because,
April
I-
5, you said?
yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking with COVID, we wouldn't be traveling that much this year, but they're adding it back in. They went no mask policy on Monday.
Wow.
And our leadership team flew in from Europe. So I was up in Connecticut all earlier this week. So originally had to fly. I was supposed to go to Connecticut Monday, Tuesday, and fly to North Carolina Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I got out of the North Carolina part. So although it's probably nice down there, although it was rainy, so you never know. All right, well, that's all I had. Any other business? Anyone else? Anything we didn't cover? We're rounding third, but there's a lot to do these next couple of months for sure.
Yep.
Anything that you guys need, Corbin? Anything on the teachers' minds that they were like, man, I wish somebody would blank, and maybe we can help out?
Nothing that I can think of right now. No. Everybody's holding on till June at this point, I
Yeah.
think.
Anything we can do for the kiddos that are having to have 4 weeks of testing?
I'll get back to you on that. I've tried in all my years as a teacher and administrator, I've tried just about everything possible to motivate and raise scores, and it's just majority of the kids just don't give a rip about those tests. That's what it comes down to, and they don't see the value, and it doesn't affect them personally in any way, shape, or form. So for some, let's play connect the dots. For others, they'll put forth an effort, but I'm not going to stress out too much about it and overdo it. For others, they come pretty easy, and they end up being proficient because they're good students and kind of know most of the content and everything else. And some are good students who just don't, they don't care about it. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably stress my kid out. So I'm just going to stock up on some.
I'll let you know. I don't, we're going back. Last year we did them on the Chromebooks. We're going back to paper pencil with those tests this year. I ran a survey at the end of last year's PSSA because I wanted to get an idea. I didn't get the feeling that kids were like, oh man, it's so much better with the online. So I sent a survey out, and it pretty much said that they were kind of split out. I didn't really like the online, and some said, oh, I'd like it. It was pretty split. Administratively, it's a lot easier for me to do paper pencil, and I think students focus a little better when they're paper pencil than they do when it's computer screen, that they can just click and go to the next one, click and go to the next one, click and go to the next one, and or know that as soon as I finish this test, I can go do something else in my Chromebook that's open right in front of me right now. So let me see how fast I can get through this. So if we say, Chromebooks, and they spend their entire days, many of them, looking at Chromebooks. So we're going to close the Chromebooks, get the paper pencil back out, have their focus be on that paper pencil that they're doing right then and there, and hope for maybe an uptick. The results from last year, I think, were pretty much what we expected the results to be. I'm not sure when they're going to be released to families, but from what I've heard, they're not good as anticipated. So I'm
Yeah,
not
they
going to
should have
stress
an
out about it.
algorithm where they use the normal, grading, throughout a course instead of these.
It's just too much. I mean, I don't know what the answer is there.
Yeah.
For the state, they're the quickest way to gather some kind of data and the cheapest way to gather some kind of data. So fast and cheap speaks volumes to the decision makers in Harrisburg. Unfortunately, I don't know if the data they're collecting, those PSSAs are certainly not the measure that I would want to use as to whether or not we're a good school or not for middle school age students. There's, to me, a lot more that goes into it than how they perform on a PSSA. But there are some who will approach the podium at a school board meeting and pound their fist about where we rank with our test score results. And I've never subscribed to that ideology and never will. So.
All right. Well, if you think of anything,
I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. But yeah, like I said, we've tried all kinds of motivators and mints and provided snacks and drinks to kids during PS. We've done it all, and the results remain largely unchanged. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you think of any other talkers, go ahead.
I was just gonna say cash. Cash is king.
Cash is king.
yeah.
If we start paying middle schoolers to take tests, we're gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah, I might get my hand slapped a little bit over that. Over that one.
Just tell them the PTA suggested it.
So should we be getting the scratch offs for the kids taking the PSSAs? Is that what you're saying?
I like it.
I wish the results were instantaneous so that we could say, hey, if you improved upon what you did last year, or if you are proficient or higher, or at a certain number or higher, then you earn a scratch off. But we don't get those results until at least the middle of the summer, usually the end of the summer.
Maybe we could encourage parents to bribe their children at home.
Yeah.
I'm not above bribery.
You gotta twist it. It's motivation. It's a motivator.
Yeah, motivational.
So that made me think of one more thing about the dance. We typically provide 20, 25, 30 tickets to guidance to give to students who might not be able to pay, and we let them handle it. However, because they know the kids that may not have earned being able to go. And Corbin, I had to laugh. I was thinking about, cafeteria duty in the morning. There's some children that we could reward or not with a dance ticket, I'm just thinking. I get to spend the mornings with Corbin in the cafeteria this month. So, I was very glad he was there this morning. It really goes pretty well. I don't want to be, in general, it really does. We have a little bit of excitement this morning, so I was glad he was there. So, but he handled it. Yeah, it was.
I think we should definitely have those tickets available.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. Okay. Very
All right,
good.
ladies and Corbin, we will let you go for the rest. I used to say that my son, we had, 2 moms and 3 sisters. I was like, all right, girls and Bennett.
Yeah.
All right. So it was a good meeting there. I appreciate that. Appreciate your time, everyone. We'll get moving on these last couple of months. It'll be over with before you know it.
Yep.
And guys,
Hey, thank you, ladies. Good seeing all you.
Thank you. You too. Cheers.
Okay.
Guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.